What's up and welcome to episode 47 of How Not to Summon a Podcast. As always, I'm Shinny Senpai, and this week I'm joined by the Summoning Boy's very own version of a magical garment girl, Jim.
The frilly bits are the best.
And that guy who wishes he was the only man in the Vampire Ninja Village, Grayson.
Oh, I want a bit nibbled.
And this week...
Silence! That's silence machine.
And this week we are doing episode 1 to 6 of one of my favourites, Is This a Zombie? So the genre of Is This a Zombie? It's a dark comedy, it's a harem, and it's a supernatural. It's definitely a harem.
Is this our first harem?
Is this
our first harem?
It's not his first harem, I know that.
This isn't my first rodeo.
Is this our first harem?
What's the other ones?
Sword Art?
That's not a harem.
Really?
It's
Really?
not
That's basically a gaggle.
Really?
It's
A gaggle. It's a gaggle of girls.
It is, it's a gaggle of girls. It's like a gaggle of geese.
Yeah, but is a harem defined by how the male protagonist acts as well?
No.
Because obviously, if you're calling Sword Art a harem, it's not really, because Kirito only has...
so is.
But he only has eyes for Asuna, so it doesn't really count.
What he has eyes for is irrelevant.
No,
He has an entourage of ladies. That's a harem, right?
I feel like this is an episode in itself. What do we constitute as a harem?
Yeah.
Because
It's a male with a following of females who
Yeah, but
play
he
an
also has a
active
following of
role
males.
in the show.
But in every harem we see, that male has to be clueless to the
Yep.
the
Really? And
advances of all of
Kirito's
them.
not. He never turns any of them down. He just
never-
makes it apparent
He sort of
eventually
just
they
shrugs
clue
it off.
on to that he's into Asuna.
No, he's fucking deaf.
Yeah.
I love you, Kirito. What? I can't hear you.
He knows.
He knows. He knows what he's
Yeah.
fucking doing.
That's the time. Wait, we're on VoIP.
And
We're in a group chat. What do you mean you can't hear me?
That's true. I'll just video message you. Right, anyway.
But this is what I'm on about, so that's not harem. This
a
is our
harem.
first harem we've ever done.
To be fair, we have tried to avoid any very out there harems.
Don't worry, we'll sort that out with Cat Planet Cuties.
He's not wrong. Spoiler for what's coming up.
Fran, if you're listening, cosplay, please. Cosplay. Thank you.
So it was directed by Takamoi Kanasaki.
Well done.
Not known for much else. I did try and look him up. Is This a Zombie seems to be his sort of only real thing. The studio that picked up is Studio Dean. They're known for doing Vampire Knight, and they also did Konosuba, which is a really popular anime.
Yeah, I've seen Konosuba.
Yeah, really popular, really good anime as well. Another harem. And now we're going to some voice actors. So we've got Ayamu. Ayamu Ayakawa, but we'll just call him Ayamu. Played by Austin Tyndall.
Why do I know that? Austin Tyndall.
So he's Marco in Attack on Titan.
Okay, yeah, no,
Don't care.
I see that.
Shit show.
And he's Gabiru in my next life. I want to be reincarnated as a slime sort of thing. Gabiru, he's the lizard man with the spear.
Oh,
Okay,
Gabiru,
I know
yeah.
The mouthy
yep,
one.
Yep.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Haruna, voiced by Jad Saxton.
That
Yeah.
guy is a jam saxton.
That's a real name.
I think it's a girl.
Is it?
That's
Yes.
totally a real name.
And best known for being Megami in Food Wars. So they've had them before.
Okay.
And she's also Akatsuki in Log Horizon, if you've ever seen Log Horizon. I'm sure I've
No.
mentioned it before. It's like a real life version of Sword Art, but you don't die if you die in the game. So
Yeah,
they get
you've mentioned it before.
they get stuck in the game, but you don't die. If you die in the game, you just get respawned.
Again, that's just dot hack.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what you said last time we brought it up.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Because it is dot hack the original.
I haven't seen it.
It's
Neither
not
have I.
great.
Unusual for me.
It's not great. It's from the Yu-Gi-Oh days.
That's why I haven't seen it.
And
That's because Lee mentioned it.
The
You're like, it's going to be old. It's
the
going to be
animation.
shit.
Why?
We're not
Why
watching
you gotta
it.
come at me like that? I'm gonna come at you, you fat dick.
Actually, I'm glad you don't come at me.
Aha!
Just on. Well, if you lay down, it's gonna happen.
Why do you look at me? Help me, please.
The eyes widened and screamed in silence.
Next up, we've got you, or
Me?
I'm not in this.
Yulewood?
I voiced it.
Hyacinth? I think that's her name.
What?
Yeah.
The
Say that
knight,
again.
the necromancer knight,
Yeah, you.
Oh no!
who is voiced by no one.
So when she does eventually
Naomi,
speak,
someone.
no, it's
The one in his.
Jeremy Lee
It's got two
I
voices.
recognise that name.
Arsena.
I thought so.
There's two voices for her, isn't there? There's the one
Yes,
that he
there's the-
has,
yes,
which they always announce is voiced by.
Yeah, I love that.
I love
His
that.
internal monologue
In his little
voice,
fantasy
yeah.
world. I love that.
I didn't write that down. The internal monologue
Naomi
one.
something?
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that Sheen does as well, the little voiceover for people as well.
Yeah, every girl goes ooh in
Oh,
Sheen,
yeah, I would have.
Ooh.
Sometimes me as well.
No, you got ooh.
Who are?
Next up, we've got Seraphim, voiced by Morgan Garrett. Not done much voice work. Was Ranko in My First Girlfriend is a Gal, if you've ever seen that. That's the short-haired character. Massive harem, lots
Right.
of fan service.
A gal is a chav, right?
Yes. So the
We can just gals are chavs.
the plot of that is that she is.
They're fake
incredibly
tan, white
yes.
teeth, fake nails, and
It's exactly what she is
they're
in the anime.
chavs, right?
Yes.
Big hooped earrings, leopard
That's
print.
exactly what she is in the anime.
I've never seen this
Sweater
show, but
tied around her waist.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're chavs, gals.
Yes. Watch the anime.
Go to Pornhub and type gal.
I'm not putting that in.
It genuinely is what will come up.
It's the third time I've told you today. I'm not putting that in.
So let's get into a few ratings before we start. Anyone want to guess what IMDb gave this?
A big red hot 4.
2.5.
So IMDb gave this a 7 out of 10.
Bloody hell.
Oh.
And I couldn't find a Rotten Tomatoes for this. But I did find a Crunchyroll rating for this.
Rotten
Anyone
Tomatoes
want-
gave this a 99.7.
Anyone want to guess what Crunchyroll gave this out of 5?
What's their rating? Is it
five.
a percentage? Oh, out
Four
of
and a
5.
half.
3.5.
4.5.
Fucking
alright.
nailed it.
Yep, Crunchyroll popular amongst just like everyday anime fans.
Because it's an easy watch, this thing.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is an
God,
easy
my.
But
you
it's
can just
also
pick up an
one-
episode. I don't understand how you like this, but this same energy is Space Dandy and you fucking hate it.
Is it?
Yes, it's the same energy.
Was there
It's the same
any
energy.
really high plants in this one?
I don't feel like it's the same energy.
It's the same energy.
No, it's not.
It's the same energy.
I don't feel like it is.
This show comes from the same place as Space Dandy.
I feel like there's
This
more
is joke for
boobies,
the
baby,
sake
in
of-
this one.
Boobies, baby. What's up with the little skinny girl getting naked? That was
Yeah,
a bit weird.
what is going on with those?
That was a bit weird.
Just disappeared.
The only nudity in the show is a skinny girl with no boobs. And
Oh, what, Haruna?
sure, why not?
Although I'm going to call you out on that. Are you saying if it was the tall girl with big boobs? Yeah.
Well, if they're
Fine.
gonna get, if they've got one shot, one
It's
opportunity,
fine, she's thousands of years old. She's a vampire ninja. Thousands of years
yeah, that
old.
one you can get nude all you want.
The
That's
other
fine.
one's old as well.
I promise, Your Honour, she's
It's-
10,000 years old.
Haruna is established
She
as
said
being
she was 10,000.
She never ages. What am I
everybody at
supposed
this
to do?
everybody at the table in this anime are all much older because they're all immortal.
I hope that stands in court for you.
Okay.
It definitely won't.
I swear she was a magical garment girl.
Turn up in the garments. So just
It's a
be
little
like,
weird, Your Honour, but it checks out.
But Your Honour, I need to bring the chainsaw in with me to show you what happens.
Okay, let's go into episode 1. We get introduced firstly to Ayamu, the main protagonist of the show, and we see him, he goes to school. But before he goes to school, he speaks to, who we see again, just on the way out, Yu. And he also has the first introduction to his inner monologues of Yu, and how she definitely doesn't speak the way
Ooh,
he
ooh.
wants her to. He says in his head as he's walking to school how he just wants to be a normal high school guy. He's talking to the audience, isn't he?
100%.
Yeah,
He has to be. Well, it's an inner monologue. He's not talking to himself like that.
because he
Yeah,
says
he could be talking
he
to himself.
says I used to be a normal high school. No, he does talk because he turns to the camera.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
he?
he does when he gets hit by the car.
'Cause
He
that's-
goes, it's okay, I'm a zombie.
Yeah, so as he's walking home, he sees the
The cat.
cat.
He's about to get run over.
Oh yeah, we see his winky, don't we?
We don't. It's caught by the sun.
No, it's that man. It's that man's hairpiece.
Oh yeah. I was like, I forgot about the toupee.
Before he gets hit by the truck, he also does tell us that he found out recently that the world was full of magic and monsters because of what he has become. And then you find out instantly when he dives in front of the truck to save a kitten and he gets hit by it. He turns to the camera and goes, don't worry, guys, I'm a zombie. And then he does that twirly thing through the air, loses all his clothes through the tree.
3 trees. He goes through 3 trees and loses 3 levels of clothing.
Levels.
It is levels. Look, if I take off my top, you've leveled up.
What?
Wouldn't it be leveling down?
I would feel that would be leveling down.
I've lost experience. You're 1 further level in the dungeon deeper.
I don't want to be deeper in your dungeon. I'm good at If it was your dad, it'd be a different matter. But
So before...
Get it in early.
that's what your dad said. Before dinner. I'm dinner.
Before anyone can run and help Ayamu, he vanishes. Then we see you for real. Weird character design on this one, by the way. You. They do explain it well, though, don't they? About
What, with the armour?
Well, the knight's uniform, basically, isn't it?
What? She never takes it off.
Yeah.
Plates.
Yeah, but you're kind of... Firstly, for a while, for a few episodes, you're sitting there and you're like, why does she wear that?
That armour's going to stink, by the way. She can never take it off.
Well, doesn't she wash in it?
She does have... That's a bath episode.
And she washes in it.
Yeah.
She still wears it in the bath, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
Oh, that's got to rust.
Including breastplate.
No, because not if it's
magical.
It depends what it's made
Oh, it's a
of.
magical garment girls thing, is it?
No,
It's just...
A magical garment.
inhibits her power, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we also see that you doesn't speak yet. Last 2 episodes, I want to say episode 11, 12 and 13, we hear her speak and sing. Till then, you don't hear it.
Well, I suppose he can't die, can he? If he's a zombie, he is literally the only person in the world that she can speak to. He can't die.
No, she can kill him as well, because...
She has to infuse her power of her words with the word die.
No, she doesn't infuse it, it just happens.
Just happens. Whenever she talks, yeah.
She can take away what she is given. I will give you a hint. I know you haven't actually watched the last couple of episodes, so I will just say she can take away what has been given.
Right.
Just bear that in mind for the future. Again, we get another look at his inner thoughts. Every time he has inner thoughts in this, they are perverted, right?
Yeah.
He just imagines you calling him what? Like, hot, sexy stud?
Yeah.
Stud. He calls himself a stud quite often.
We've all been there.
We all want to imagine that. You're right.
Yeah, I just
He
like...
looked off into the distance then.
I was just like... You guys are like, oh yeah, that's what we all want to imagine. And I was like, no, I pretty much imagine women look at me and still go, he's fucking looking at me weird, that guy.
There's a moment then when you gets a little bit of food on her face. He reaches over, goes to get it, and she breaks his hand. And he sort of says, even though I'm a zombie, I still feel pain. So he still feels all the pain that a normal person
hit
would
by a
feel.
truck.
Breaking your hand isn't that painful.
I think she crushes it, right?
Yeah, like,
We've all been there.
no, we haven't.
No.
We really haven't.
Touch wood, not broke a bone in my body.
Oh, it's a bit late for me to touch wood. I've broken fucking most of them.
I thought because of your age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have pills for that.
When 103 you reach.
And you reach 10,000 years old.
We also see that you was the one who turned him into a zombie, brought him back to life. And he says that he goes out every night looking for the serial killer.
A murderer.
That killed him. So he's not actually doing it to help anybody else. He's just pissed off.
Vengeance.
Yes, he's pissed
Pure
off.
Although
Although actually,
little bit of curiosity.
in well, yeah, you'd want to know.
Yeah, you'd want to know.
Who killed me?
It's just walking down the street. Did you kill me?
It's a great.
Grabbing the old man. Did you kill me, old man?
There's a game
Are you a
about that.
murderer? You got to tell me if you're a murderer.
Tie him up, put him in a barrel.
Sorry, that is a
What is wrong with you?
D&D is for nerds joke. If you listen to that podcast, it's a
I
good
don't.
podcast. Listen
Fuck,
to it.
you should. It's good.
There's also a game called Soul Suspect. If you haven't played it, it's very good.
What? Tie him up, put him in a barrel?
No, it's a guy that gets murdered and he investigates his
I
murder in the
have
afterlife.
played that.
It's very
It's
good.
Yes, it is
very
a good game.
Very underrated.
I think you told me to play it as
It's a
well.
good game. It was free for a little while.
Yeah, it was free for a little while. It's the only reason I played it because it was
Yeah.
free. I fucking loved it.
Okay.
Great run through.
So Yu is a necromancer, not just any necromancer. She's a necromancer of Hades. So I guess we're led to believe that she's like almost a right hand
Like the Grim Reaper?
person to
Of the devil.
No, she's not. No, because she doesn't. We see the dog later on who takes souls that have been killed to hell.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I don't really.
Fluffy?
Yeah. So I don't.
yeah.
Spot. We don't really know
It's a Harry Potter.
how.
I got it.
We don't really know how high up she is, but we're led to believe that she's some sort of big deal.
She's probably,
in hell.
deputy manager. sort of
Deputy
level.
manager.
It's also another time we get a serial killer again. Like we've had fucking 4
Oh,
parts
yeah,
of
we
it in
did that
Future
in
Diary,
fucking
haven't
Future
we?
Diary, didn't we?
There's a lot of serial killers in animes. It seems to be a thing. Even in I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, that guy stabbed the girl who was a serial killer.
Spoilers for an episode we did fucking ages ago.
Spoilers.
If somebody's missed that episode and
Yes.
just come in on this one,
You fucked up, didn't you?
I didn't fuck up.
No,
I
You
said
fucked
it.
up.
Oh, you fucked up.
Why? No, we can talk about past episodes. Fuck this newcomer who's coming to our show late. Get to the party on time. All right, there's an episode 0. Don't fucking start there.
We can't talk about that. We're always fucking late everywhere. We always fucking
There's
go.
no we're always late. One person's always late because whenever someone knocks on that person's door, he's in his fucking underwear.
I wasn't today, actually.
no, he wasn't today.
I don't believe you for a second.
Completely clothed.
I don't believe you. I was naked. Just my shoes.
Socks.
We were
I'm
on
ready.
we were on level 0.
Are you going out looking for the serial killer that killed you?
Yeah.
No.
Now that you're immortal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually no.
Yeah.
Well, you said, are you going out looking for a serial killer?
No,
No.
that killed you.
That
Now
killed
I'm-
you.
now
Jim's
I'm-
like, no, I'm dead.
Yeah. But actually,
I'll give
now
it
I
a
am.
fucking hot try.
Now I'm immortal. Yes, I am going after
No, you know
them.
what he'd do? He'd haunt one of us to go and fucking
Oh
do
yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd do that.
it. No, he'd be like, are you going to go yet?
Yeah, I'd be like, so what you do?
That is, I'm not summoning that boy.
That's a mighty big lunch you've got. How about finishing it and go and find that serial killer?
No, I want to have my lunch. Knock it on the floor.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And to be fair, you know, you're both sitting here doing the podcast. There's not a third mic anymore. I'm just sort of like on the side of the mic, just like.
I still wouldn't
ooh.
believe it's ectoplasm with Jim, though, would you?
Because it wouldn't be.
So it would.
You'd be cleaning it up.
So Ayamu always goes out every night to find the serial killer. On this night in particular, he ends up in the graveyard. He feels most comfortable in a graveyard.
Because he's dead.
Yes, he's among his own kind.
Go back to your own kind.
Hot opinion here.
Yes.
Graveyards are pretty comfortable.
No, they're not.
No.
Yeah.
I don't ever walk into a graveyard and go,
right.
do you know what? My bed would be really good in here.
No, but that house in the graveyard, right? Towards Hardwick?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Why?
I'm living in that.
Why?
I'm living in that.
I'm not.
I don't fancy
I'm about
to be
it.
honest.
I've seen enough scary
No.
movies.
Yeah, but you keep your friends closer and your enemies closer. For the zombie apocalypse.
I want to be ground zero.
Ground
for the
zero.
zombie-
Let's do this. I will end it before it starts.
Lee's getting his zombie kill count up early.
He'd see somebody digging a grave in there and be like, shit, there's a zombie. Go out, conk him over the head. Digging up all the corpses, conking him over the head.
Me and my lantern.
It's fucking Hagrid now.
A lantern.
You can't go out in the forbidden forest.
Remember, follow the spiders.
I lead you to Aragon.
Now that he's in the graveyard, we get our introduction
I like Harry Potter.
for the first time to Haruna and her chainsaw Mistletoe.
It has a name?
Yeah.
Mistletoe.
Sure, why not?
Yes. It
Mistletoe.
talks later on.
Oh, he hasn't got there yet.
What? Like
Spoiler.
like the sword in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No, as in, vroom, 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 vroom. That's what it does.
No, it
Okay.
talks to Aimu later on.
No, what we hear is,
Yeah,
Revving.
do,
Brum,
yeah,
brum,
we do.
brum, 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 brum.
yeah, that.
Yes.
Does it say?
And the first time we see Haruna is when she's axe kicking at Aimu, and you see her stripy panties. I love that. Like, I want to comment, but I better.
I
not
don't want to comment. There are two types of anime fans, and I'm not about the stripy
He's brought back
panty
the
kind.
favourite. Yay!
Cool,
It's,
bloody hell.
it's been about fucking
It's
30
been 10
episodes.
I
1,000
believe
years.
they call that fan service.
I believe that was brought up about 10,000 years ago as well.
We see that Haruna is trying to fight a
Thing.
giant monster bear. They're called megalos. So it's and for some reason these monsters resemble animals in the real world. So it's except a more exaggerated and larger version. So it's a megalo bear that stabs Aimu with its fucking claws. Haruna then cuts Aimu in half to cut the bear in half.
I remember this because she's like, "Don't worry, I'll kill it in your honor," and he's like, "I'm still alive." And she's like, "Don't worry, I'll get him." Then chainsaws through him, and she was like, "Not the cleanest kill I've ever done, but still, I got the job
And then
done."
she turns to him and is like, "Why are you still alive?" But turns out Haruna is a magical garment girl. And she bends down. One of her powers is to erase memories.
She bends down, and one of her powers.
She bends down to
Choice of words.
erase his memory. Erase.
Erase.
Erase is American?
Erase.
Yeah.
Erase.
Get rid of.
Let's have a podcast. Right. Okay. We're discussing erase and erase, right? What is it?
I think it's a race.
Erase.
Erase. Okay, we're going with erase. The English pronunciation.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's a summoning one.
She goes to erase his memory, and her clothes disappear.
We've all been there.
Do you very often have to get have your clothes disappear to make sure somebody loses their memory?
Yeah, I hit him over the head with it.
With your clothes?
With it.
Oh.
It's barely
Don't
even,
act like you've never been hit over the head with a toothpick.
barely even a poke in the eye, is it really?
That's not a knife.
Yeah.
Cut to back at Aimu's house. Turns out Aimu has somehow managed to take Haruna's powers from her. Do we ever get an explanation to that? Because I'm not recalling.
No.
I think we do.
No.
It's in the episodes later that his powers are stronger, and we see that part of the powers that he's given, because he's got her magic in her, her magic can take other people's magic.
No.
Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a convoluted one.
And
but
it
yes,
only
there is,
happens
isn't
this once.
Well, he only has to take her powers once.
Yeah,
To
there's
have her
other
powers.
magical people.
Oh, yeah, true. And he comes into contact with other...
He gropes one of them.
there? Beautiful magical boys. What? That's what it is. He's a magical boy.
There's your new ringtone.
Available on Spotify.
I'll put it on SoundCloud. I'll show the link.
Haruna tells Aimu that she is now going to move in with him until he gives her powers back.
I don't think so, love. No, I'm all right. I'm fine.
Do I want to take the prepubescent girl home? No.
No.
I'm good, thank you. I am good.
She's hundreds, if not thousands of years
That's
old.
fantastic. That's got nothing to do with puberty. They could hit puberty at 20,000 years old.
Could be an elf.
What?
Could be a dwarf.
You're trying to bring Lord of the Rings into this
No.
because I mentioned Harry Potter.
I was trying to
Are you
bring
trying
in
to, are you trying to
D&D.
have a world off because
I'll have a world off.
Harry Potter's better?
No, it's not.
It
It's
is.
Star Wars.
But that's just a hero's tale, which
No,
is
it's the story of
everyone.
Star Wars.
They're very similar,
Extremely similar.
but it's just a hero's journey. It's an old writing thing. A lot of the new Ghostbusters uses it. Still a very good movie. Though.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
still a very good.
Yeah, carry on, Sheen. We'll
Sorry.
So
have
we then
these-
see
Meow.
a creepy guy standing in the
Like
street.
Ghostbusters noise.
Turns out he's looking for magical garment girls. Don't know why.
We've all been there.
Sometimes I go out at night in a trench
I mean, I
coat.
call them hookers, but you can call them what you want.
Hey, you a magical garment girl? Jim's like, yeah.
It's 30 quid, mate.
And he'll slip a finger in.
As he pulls on his knee-high boots. Let's do this.
And only his boots.
I do indeed have some knee-high boots.
He looks like Puss in Boots.
Yeah, kind of. Pretty much, yeah.
Then we cut back to the next day. Aimu at his school, and we get our introduction for the first time to his best friend, Orito.
And my favourite character, because I love this character so much.
Orito is what you can only equate to as a massive sex pest.
There we go.
Jim.
Here.
Here.
Lee.
What? I'm not a sex pest.
sex
Did you just say
obsessed.
Lee on the podcast?
And
Yeah, I did.
the fuck is wrong
I'm
with you?
calling you out. Dick.
all right, James.
Fucking Jimothy over here.
See, he can't even ever say my name. He physically can't.
I can't. I refuse to. Like, I don't hug you.
It's,
He
Did you see him
genuinely
get mad in
doesn't.
the pub the other day when we went out? Because you gave me a hug when you were drunk and he never got one. He got mad.
Yeah.
He got really mad.
Do you hear this, folks?
I don't remember that.
He won't hug me.
Oh,
No.
Never.
How long we known each other?
Like, seriously, I'll put up a Twitter poll.
Like,
That he should.
almost 10 years. Never hugged him.
Yeah,
Oh.
10 years. 10 years, folks. Still won't give me
It's
a
not
hug.
happening. It's not happening.
sorry. So we also find out that Ayamu can't go out in the sun. It's a zombie thing. Dries out.
It's a ginger thing as well, to be fair.
Turns into a raisin.
Both of them don't have souls, so it makes sense.
Oh,
I thought I was going to go with Pulse,
It's an old joke, sir.
but it checks
But it
out.
checks out.
Cut
Leave
to
his
the
Mimar alone.
cut to the end of the school day, and that creepy guy that was in the street looking for magical girls turns up at the school. So does Haruna. She appears out of nowhere. Turns out the guy's a megalo. Not just any megalo, he's a crawfish.
Yep.
Why? Why? Why have we got all of a sudden a crawfish?
Because he's
instead
infecting
of
the
just
school
a-
with crabs.
Different shellfish.
Nice.
Haruna tries to transform, and it works for like half a second.
second or so, yeah.
And then she's butt naked again. As the crawfish is about to attack Haruna, Aimu steps in, blocks the attack, just grabs the claw as it's coming down on Haruna. Turns out that Aimu, because he's a zombie now, he's able to unlock extra
He can-
strength. Like
He can
use the full-
exert the full strength of being a human, whereas humans can't.
Yeah, so he
So-
can go 100% and beyond.
I love that he calls out the percentage when he does it, though. That's so good. 110%.
Yeah, so later on he goes up to like 500%.
900 later on.
900% or something like that, yeah.
I don't know what 900% of exertion looks like. Leave it. But I'm pretty
That's what
certain.
they said after you use 900% exertion. It's already dead.
It's just spitting dust.
Leave it. You're going to start a fire.
Burn, baby, burn.
Ayamu ends up taking Mistletoe from Haruna, and for the first time, he transforms into a magical garment girl. This is funny, right?
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's funny.
It's fun. Yeah, definitely. Anybody else want this guy to fight One Punch Man? Because he kind of feels like an extra in a One Punch Man
He
episode.
does kind of
This
feel
feels
like
like a spin-off of One
He
Punch
could have
Man.
been in that top 10 room.
He totally could have, right?
that. Why, an S class.
Yeah.
Just an idiot.
Rank number 3.
Yeah.
Ayamu, the magical garment girl.
Zombie.
They missed an opportunity.
Hold
They
on.
missed a
Don't we
massive
have
opportunity.
a guy in One Punch Man that dresses up as a woman?
Jim.
Yes.
We do, don't
No,
we?
there's Puri
Puri Puri, prisoner.
prisoner,
Yeah.
who's just a very
He likes to be nude.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
and loves men.
I thought he did dress up in a garment, though.
lot. No, he likes to be nude because he gets his full strength when he's undressed or something.
At least I have somebody who is in common.
Ayamu and the crawfish fight so much that they end up flying out the window, land into the schoolyard in front of everybody. He defeats the crawfish, and everybody at school sees him in his magical garment girl outfit, and
It's
they
a
all
pink maid.
they do what they would do in today's day and age. They
Whip out their phone.
They
Whip
get
out
their,
the phones.
they get their phones out,
And call it a cosplay.
and the episode ends with Aimu turning around and telling us what we already know, that he is now not just a zombie, but he's also a magical garment girl.
I have a question about this magical garment girl thing. Right?
Yes.
Why a chainsaw? Do they have like separate?
I think they
I
all
think-
have
do
their
they
own
have
unique
separate
weapons,
weapons?
don't
I
they?
reckon it's
Because
one
the
of those
girl
things.
has a sword.
Yeah, I reckon it's one of those things where you can just
Pick.
pick whichever one you
Wasn't
want.
she a vampire though?
Which
the
one are we
sword?
talking about?
No, the one that got...
The one with the bowls of ramen.
The one
is a,
that got
is a vampire.
Is
Possessed.
the one with bowls of ramen?
Is a vampire.
The one that
Right.
got possessed was not. They went
Yeah,
to the
she
same
has a-
school,
yeah, she
so
uses
she's
a
a
samurai
magical
sword.
garment
Oh, okay.
girl.
She uses a
'Cause
samurai
they're
sword.
from the same school, aren't they? Because her head teacher comes and says, "What have you done to my pupil?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was just thinking then, right? If we're all magical garment boys,
you get a choice
Girls.
of weapon.
Yeah, you get a choice of weapon.
oh, cool, right? So what's your choice of weapon?
Eskrima sticks.
Oh no, you're having fucking Cali sticks, ain't you? A riot shield.
Cali sticks.
He's
I
like
am
a Cali shield, Cali sticks and a riot shield. He's running around.
I did Eskrima for like 5 years.
There you go.
What's yours? I'm going Pokemon cards.
It's just Gambit in cosplay.
No, I meant like.
No, they have to be Pokemon
like
cards.
a
You give him
full-
normal playing cards, he's fucked.
Fucked.
I can't throw these.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yes, and then I'll have them actual summon and that.
Why did you pull out the 2 fingers and
I
everything?
think you're giving yourself too many powers, mate. He's like, I
think
want
so.
to summon the monsters from the Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
That's
not
a
how it
magical
works.
No,
No,
I can
it's
do
not.
that.
No, you can't do that. You have
a.
a weapon.
All right. Who are you? The magical police.
Magical Garment Girl, please. Thank you.
And what are you having there, Khan?
I don't know.
Is yours just like a boom mic and
No.
you sit
Nunchucks.
down and do a podcast?
Nunchucks.
You sit down and do a podcast and that's your
Nunchucks.
powers.
My powers.
You put them out and be
My
like,
power is comedy. There we go.
so you're a bard. So you're basically a bard. Vicious mockery is your thing. You
don't
sit
know.
there and call people out.
No, you've got to have something a bit more aggressive, haven't you? If you're going to, we've got chainsaws, we've got fucking samurai swords, so a stick's not going to scare anybody, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm having the Cali sticks. It's happening.
What about some darts, boys?
Some darts.
we go
fucking
back.
hell. Yuki over here. We got another Yuki in this.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
So you're going with Cali sticks and
Cali
a riot
sticks.
shield.
Yeah. No riot shield. Just Cali sticks. It's not COD.
I'd have to have
Nightwing.
something really fucking sinister, I think. I'd have a fucking scythe.
Oh yeah, you'd be like a proper demon star, wouldn't you?
Yeah, big fucking scythe.
Magical herpes.
Yeah,
That's what Sheeny's having.
succubus star. Isn't he?
Succubus.
Now I've turned into a succubus. A magical garment girl.
And what am I getting? I'm basically getting like a paddle or an oar. Yeah, whatever I found. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting a pitchfork.
Why? Why? Because you're a farmer boy.
Yeah, exactly.
60 acres. You don't understand.
80. 80. I'll have you know.
And where was that?
Yorkshire. It's up north.
Up north.
Let's go into episode 2.
He just doesn't like it because I am a fellow Yorkshireman.
You're not a fellow Yorkshireman. You can fuck off.
Ancestry
These
says otherwise.
southern fucking pricks.
So, episode 2 opens with Aimu recalling how he died and how he met you. He met you outside a convenience store. She was
No,
just-
he met me when I watched the show.
He was,
I was waiting for when he was going to pull that joke. Like,
and he saw you outside the store. And
Why
was
you
like-
keep pointing at me?
he is genuinely pointing, guys. He's genuinely pointing across the table at him.
You
And
notice
he
when he
thought-
does this, he looks a bit like Graham Norton.
This is going to get weird.
And you.
And he thought that you was attractive. And
Well,
Most
thank
people
you.
do.
Thank you very much.
he tries to show off and he tries to break dance for her.
And breaks his wrist.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he breaks it, but he just crumples
Sprains.
it, doesn't it? And you thinks it's funny. And
I don't think I've ever gone, do you know what, lads? I think the best thing to do in this situation is breakdance.
Clearly, you've never been in school.
I would fucking love to see you do that in front of a girl.
You can barely get words out in front of a girl. He ain't breakdancing.
He breaks down.
He can't break the silence.
We then cut back to the moment.
Have them make the first move.
He plays the long game. The long game.
10,000 years I've got, lads.
Until she hits puberty.
Yeah.
We then cut back to Ayamu running away from school as they're taking the pictures of him as a magical garment girl. And it jumps a week. Turns out that he erased everybody's memory in the school so that they don't remember seeing him as a magical garment girl.
Now question it, is it erased?
See, I thought that. I thought at that point
You're
when he
making me
said
second-
erased,
Yeah,
I was like, erased.
it felt right.
Yeah, it did feel right. though.
Does he call himself a super tranny at this point?
Yes, I think he does.
We've all been.
Because he thinks that if he can transform into his magical garment girl
That's
uniform,
what tranny is, isn't it? A tranny former?
a tranny former, he thinks that that's going to get him into the girls' locker room. It's not how it works. Just because you
really-
put the clothes on Oh,
Very
no.
careful what you
very
say
careful
right
where
now.
you
Be
go.
very careful where you go
That
with
might
this.
be how it works these days. To be honest with you. That is what it is.
I
though.
am not touching that with fucking. I'm not touching that with him. Let alone my fucking voice.
That was about 30 seconds. Remember that for later on.
Well, we've got to discuss it because he thinks that's the way you get in a girl's locker room.
And when was this show made?
I don't know. A while ago. So I don't think it would have worked back then.
Yeah, probably not back then.
It's just how subtle he is. Maybe
Staying
not
away from
back
that.
then.
Staying away from that.
There's a 10-foot barge pole over there. I'm going to get it.
So Ayamu gets to lunchtime. Ayamu gets his lunchbox out because Haruna has made him lunch.
You made me laugh.
See?
And the only thing she's made him is tons and tons and tons of omelette.
I'm fucking about this.
They look good, don't they?
I'm fucking about this.
I was more about the seaweed.
That's later on.
Yeah, but it's like the Chinese seaweed sort of stuff that you get. It looks nice.
But he has so many omelettes that he does trade them for other food as well because apparently they're amazing and the whole class want to try some.
Yeah, they have a collective orgasm.
Yes, they do.
I don't remember this part.
The body tingles
Yeah,
they all get.
Yeah, they all eat it and go, mm.
Oh, Food Wars then. We're watching
Yes.
Food Wars.
All their clothes
Yeah.
strip off.
They strip off.
That's what happens in Food Wars.
No,
the food's-
sure, why
They
not?
like it
Food's
that
really
much that
good.
they go, "Whoa."
They do what?
You heard me.
They turn into a shit ghost. It cuts back to him being at home. He talks to Haruna about the lunch and everything, and Haruna, as he's made dinner for the group, Haruna eats some of it, and then she turns to him. She eats it really fast, and she turns to Ayamu, and she goes, "Give me more of your tasty white stuff."
Yeah, there's a lot of these quotes.
Yes, there are. Yeah, so she means his rice.
It's like I wrote this bit.
Like, this entire anime is like something you would have wrote.
Yeah.
The camera then pans to the other side of the table, and we get our introduction to Seraphim, who has just appeared out of nowhere at the table. She calls herself the master of the Swallow Return Strike, and she is there because she wants Yu's help with an ongoing battle, I believe, in her vampire ninja village. I guess
No,
that's
she
right.
wants.
That's
Yeah,
what she originally
you
says
said-
she's
yeah, no,
there
yeah.
for.
Question.
I'm confusing characters. No, you are right. Yeah.
Aren't vampires silent?
What?
Aren't they silent? Don't they move silently?
No, because of their abilities, it makes them good ninjas.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, surely just being called a vampire then.
No, because vampires.
ninjas
If
not-
vampires were real, it doesn't mean they're a fucking ninja.
What do you mean if?
They're not real.
What do you mean? Well, there goes my life plan.
Yeah. Your death plan.
It's an afterlife plan.
After that plan, yeah. But no.
Can't wait to collect on that life insurance. That's a space dandy.
Yeah, I know.
Sneaking them in.
Yeah, no, that's an extra thing that you'd learn to be.
What
Well,
is
a
it?
ninja's not just sneaky.
A ninja
What do
can
they
use shurikens.
It's a fighting style.
Great, so all I need to learn is how to throw shit.
Ninjas were a clan, weren't they?
Ninjas was an actual genuine
dynasty.
Yeah, genuine thing. They were like protectors within China,
Japan.
Japan.
I think there was a dynasty.
No, they were samurais.
Samurais. They're from the same place, aren't they?
Oh, I don't know.
Ninjas versus samurais.
Samurais were from Japan,
going
but
to
there are
have to
ninjas.
Google this.
Yeah, it genuinely is. I think it might be time, lads. It's been a while since we done one, but I think it might be a good
We'll come
time.
back in the second part and just give you a definition of what makes a
Jim
ninja.
wanted intermission music.
Yeah, where's the
Fucking
intermission?
Intermission.
Dun, 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 dun,
He is
dun,
going to Google.
dun. He's just
I
whipping it
am.
out. Dun, 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 dun,
Thirsty.
dun, 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 dun. Do you want to go get some beers while he's doing this?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Ch, 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 ch,
Please stand by.
dun, dun, dun,
The
dun,
normal
dun,
broadcast
dun,
will be
dun,
with
dun,
you shortly.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you could have totally thunderbursted then. Stand by for a transmission.
So what was the question, lad?
So,
We did have an intermission, and yes,
Jim's back with our definition of a ninja.
a ninja is
Take it
actually it was a Japanese pronunciation, or shinobi was a covert agent or mercenary in feudal Japan. They were deemed as dishonorable as well.
Dishonorable.
Dishonorable. Dishonorable.
Dishonorable.
Dishonorable.
Dishonorable.
Love how you just gave up in the middle of the word.
Dishonorable.
Hey,
And their function of a ninja included espionage, deception, and surprise attacks. That's what it was. That's what the definition of a ninja was. But these guys were not ninjas. They're not ninjas. They're vampires.
They're vampire ninjas.
They live in a village. Vampires don't live in villages unless they're ninjas.
It's very true.
Are you sure?
Haha! I've got
'Cause
it.
isn't like
100%. No. It's in ancient scrolls.
isn't like Transylvania like a village anyway? So
Transylvania is in a massive area within.
nah, it's not that big.
It's massive. And
It's
there's
not that
There's one in
big.
America as well.
Transylvania is a massive area within the country.
It's so big, it's got a hotel.
It's in France, isn't it?
Did you say Transylvania is in France?
Oh,
No, I'm thinking of Beauty and the
it's
Beast.
in Romania.
I think
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I was thinking about Beauty and the Beast.
Which one of them was a vampire in that?
I forgot. I thought about the Beauty and the Beast being the vampire. But yeah, cool.
So
Move on, please, Sheeny.
you,
No.
you is. Look, we can't put him up on his geography right now.
Be our guest and fucking move on.
So you is not interested in helping Seraphim. You doesn't want to help her.
It's just outside of Paris.
So
Just outside of Calais.
Blah, blah, blah.
French.
So Seraphim decides the best way to get you to help her is to challenge Ayamu to a fight. She also knows he's a zombie already. She says this before they start fighting because he turns around and goes, "Good luck beating me," and she's like, "Why? Because you're a zombie."
And isn't it like I can smell your sting from miles away?
Yeah, something like that. The fight happens. I mean, he loses an arm at one point. He gets the better of her in the end because he manages to get hold of her, headbutt her. And then as she's flying through the air, he throws the arm that she cut off at her. And then also out of nowhere, he gets a morning star to the fucking forehead.
Because sometimes you just need to slap a bitch. Even
With
if it's
your-
with an arm that isn't attached to you anymore.
I do like the throwing star bit where it just hits him directly in the forehead and he collapses it up backwards.
To be fair, the French are very well known for their accuracy.
So Seraphim loses in the end, and because she lost, instead of disappearing and leaving, she decides to stay and move in with Ayamu, and become his servant, but still call him a lonely maggot.
Yeah.
It's
The
funny
total
for a
lack of
while.
respect, even though technically she's now his servant. Why are you looking at him?
I was wondering the same thing.
I was waiting for him to come out with something.
What?
I don't know.
Because I'm the comedy backbone of this group.
No, I was waiting for some sort of sexual reference. Or, yeah,
So
something was going to happen.
as Ayamu's laying in bed, Seraphim appears in the ceiling. So that's where she's living. She's living up in his ceiling.
No, she's a bat. She has to hang upside down.
Clanging up on the ceiling.
She tells him
come
that
here, please.
you is upset for some reason. Then you get another flash.
That just sounded
pointing at me?
gangster. That just sounded gangster.
You was upset for some
right.
reason, blood.
That's all I could think of.
Is
You
it?
is well upset.
This is when we get the flashback to what happened to Ayamu. We see when he was walking home one day, he heard a scream for help, and he saw up in a window of a house blood splattered all over the window.
And he went to go and phone the police and then went, nah, I'll go check it out myself.
He realised that
He's
it
scuba
was going to
ganger.
be too late if he just didn't go now.
I'm pretty sure they also cut to there being blood on the window. I'd have thought, that's too late. It's a bit
Might
late.
be a bit too late.
Are you okay?
Tis but a
That's it.
flesh wound.
Now he's dead.
Walk it off.
So, are you going
Nope.
in?
No, not a... I am a coward.
Somebody screamed for help.
I'm not having
Depends
it.
if she's bought me coffee or not.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going into that blooming house.
You're not.
I saw blood on the window. I'm not going in.
Do I have my Escrima sticks?
Does he have his riot shield and Cowie sticks?
Because if so, yes.
Do I have a gun? Yes or no? That's the difference between me going in and me not.
I'm going in.
I mean, that doesn't
You
make
going
any
in?
I'm going
difference
in.
anyway.
Are you
with what
finding
happens.
something to take in with
Yeah,
you?
I'm fucking
Like-
picking something up.
Yeah.
A candelabra or something.
A fucking dustbin
A
lid.
dustbin lid.
May I present your murder scene?
You're gonna try and help.
Victim.
Put my killing to the test. Tie a knot around my neck, Cherie.
And
Gravity will do the rest.
We're now thinking more of it, aren't
We
we?
need to stop. We need to stop.
I was sitting there, I was like, what's the
What a
next?
winner.
We need to stop.
Fucking hell.
So he goes into the house, and for some reason he gets frozen to the spot, and then a samurai sword just comes through his back and
There
just
is magic.
kills him, and he dies, only to be saved by you. So you, because of the interaction he had with her, for some reason she likes him. So she took, is it
Pity? Pity on him.
pity on him and brought him back to life.
I thought she just didn't like people dying.
I think it's a little, but then she'd
No,
go around
I
fucking
think she
bringing
thinks it's
everyone back.
natural. I think
The entire graveyard's
It's
just
just,
drop.
I feel sorry for you.
and you've
but
got
you-
life, and
you-
you've got life.
I believe that's where D&D Raise Undead came from. The entire graveyard.
We cut back to them all in the house again. Haran has made lunch this time, and Ayamu complains about it, and she turns to him. I think she does hit him, and she says, "Suck it up or drop dead."
Oh yeah, and I remember this.
This pisses you off, and she slaps Harana.
Second time in the anime.
And Harana's like, "What'd you do that for?" And she picks up a notepad and she says, "Dying is painful, so you shouldn't wish it upon anybody."
Was it words can hurt?
Yeah.
I think that's what she says. Words
Yeah.
can hurt, dying is painful.
And Harana, feeling bad, gives her some food, and sulks off to her room, doesn't she? And it ends with, you see the rain outside, and just as it's sort of on a downer, Seraphim turns to Ayamu and goes, "More soup, please, maggot." And that's how it ends. And we go into episode 3. Episode 3 opens with Harana. She is out killing megalos.
Is this the whale one?
Yeah, no. Well, that might come later, but she's on a beach killing megalos, and then she is confronted by a pudding megalo that she can't cut.
Oh,
with
this
mistletoe.
one. Oh, yeah.
Turns out she's having a dream. She's dreaming. She's dreaming of pudding. This is a big thing in Japan. Pudding.
Pudding. Oh, yeah.
Pudding.
Their puddings are amazing.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah.
Cakes
Yeah.
and puddings in Japan look
What's those little
amazing.
squishy, colourful balls? You get them at like sushi restaurants as desserts.
See, I always, can you remember that yogurt?
Macaroon?
Can you remember that pudding
No,
thing
not
that used to
macaroon.
flip upside down?
Oh, Jello thing. Yeah, the
Oh,
caramel.
No, caramel.
That's it.
Caramel
Yeah.
creme.
ones.
That's what it just
Fuck,
reminds
they're
me
shit.
of. That's what it reminds
They're
me of.
so
though.
gross.
Do you not like them?
No, they're
I
disgusting.
can't remember the last time I had one of them. Fucking hell.
Last time I had one of them was probably about 3
No
months
one
ago.
flips them upside down anyway. You just
Yeah,
put
you
the
do.
tub in your mouth and you go,
What?
And then choke.
yeah, and then do that. That's what Jim's dad does.
We cut to Harana. She's run into the fridge. She's had a dream about pudding. She wants some pudding. She goes to get it, and Yu stops her, slaps her around, and is like, and holds up the notepad, and is like, "No, Yu's pudding.
You'll ruin your tea.
Don't take Yu's pudding. You'll ruin your tea."
Dinner to our American audience.
We also get them all playing Jenga as well. That's a
Yeah,
weird.
that's
Have
a
you seen
weird
it when they're
version
all
of
using
Jenga.
different weapons to knock the Jenga pieces
she
out?
like
and...
chainsaws one bit out and flies it across the room, ricocheting off 15 walls.
Yes. And we see Ayamu at school struggling because there's been like a heat wave and he keeps drying out constantly. He can't even sit, like, he has to have the curtain closed next to him, otherwise he dries out.
That's
I
every
think
girl
he
that
puts,
Jim talks to,
he
isn't
puts his hand, like, just into the sunlight in front of his desk. And
Yeah,
he shrivels his hand up.
exactly.
In walks Orito. He has bowling tickets.
it? And asking
And-
out every girl on
Yeah.
the class.
So he fails to get a date, and his fallback plan is to invite
His
Ayamu.
friend.
And he goes, "Come on, man, I'm in need of a bro job."
Yeah, I heard that and I completely skipped over that piece. Nothing from you? I'm actually surprised.
No, we know you play Soggy Biscuit. A bro job
Cut
nothing to you.
Cut to the girls playing Twister.
Oh yeah, I remember this bit.
Tons of fan service. Mm-hmm. Which, the minute you found out they were playing Twister, you would expect. We cut to the bowling alley, and at the bowling alley, turns out that all the girls have turned up at the bowling alley, as well as Orito and I.
I saw that the instant they went to the bowling alley. I was like, "That's them right next to them. I know exactly what's about
Yeah.
to happen."
This is when Orito gives us a breakdown of his predictions on the underwear styles of each of the girls. So Seraphim is a white panties girl. Haruna is definitely wearing stripes, and you is most definitely wearing a black thong.
I'm not sure if this is controversial, but it's absolutely true.
See, Sarah?
Types of girls wear types of underwear. Types of boys wear types of underwear.
What are yours then?
Mine, I wear skinny boxers. Like skin tights.
Yeah. Oh, what the ones
People
that are
who
like
wear
right around?
people who wear those loose boxers, they're freaks.
Well, that's me then.
That ain't natural.
He's airing it out.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Get that air up there. Just, it's like a circulation. It's like aircon. What about you? Go on. What you got under there?
Boxers.
Nothing.
Just boxers.
I was waiting for him to go nothing.
Just wear like tight Jack Wills. Sort of
All right,
snug-
fucking branded. That's
Yeah,
the
you-
one.
to be
fit.
fair, hit us up, Jack Wills.
So Aimu doesn't want Orito to find out that he knows the girls, and that, especially that they live with him.
Or else he'll be over there constantly.
So Haruna spots him, waves at him. He tries to ignore her. She walks over and he puts that wrestling mask on.
Orito as well. He's like,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that chick's looking at me.
And
That's
he's
a
Oh,
happy
yeah, look.
meal.
And he's like,
What was with the McDonald's there?
Yeah, the McDonald's.
I wrote
Sumo
it-
wrestler McDonald's.
I wrote it down, what they actually call it later on. We'll come to it. Aimu turns around and says that he is not Aimu.
He's
He
Imu
is-
Man.
He is the masked Aimu. And then he's like, why did I still say Aimu? Ends up telling Orito that he lives with them. They live with him.
They live
That's
with him.
his house. They live with him. Orito faints, gets up, has a Dr. Popper,
A Dr. Popper. I did notice that too. Go with his
and
pops.
then he turns to Aimu and asks, how far have you got with each of them?
You've been holding out on me, man.
I love the fact that his soul leaves his body when he realises as well.
And then he turns around and goes, well, that's it. I'm going to have to move in with you too, man. And Aimu's like, no, you're not. And he's like, I tell you what, if you beat me in bowling, then I won't move in. But if I beat you, I get to move in.
Perfect score.
So Aimu completely destroys Orito.
It's 100% peak human performance right there.
That bit is kind of like Kirito. Kirito's like, shit, somebody else is trying to move in on my game. Destroy them
on his
instantly.
harem, yeah.
Yeah.
After the bowling, Orito says that he has to go to hospital to visit somebody.
For his burns that he just got from that
And he,
game.
and he asks Aimu to come with him. This is when we get the introduction to Kyoko, who, for some reason, likes Aimu. This comes out of nowhere.
Literally out of nowhere. They were friends in like junior school or something.
Primary
right?
school, yeah, basically.
And the reason she's in hospital is because she is one of the victims.
She got
of the
stabbed,
serial
ripped, stabbed,
killer.
stabbed.
Yeah, so she was a victim of the serial killer. Aimu doesn't remember her at all. He can't recall why she knows him or he knows her.
Not been funny. We're all remembering this chick, right?
She's your standard anime girl, is she not? It's like
Yeah,
So what
she's
you're telling me is she's tidy.
she's got a nice haircut.
A nice haircut.
very nice.
Puts it up in the ponytails. Because that's what the boys like.
Pigtails, actually, it was.
Because she looks cuter, apparently. That was a bit of a weird one.
It was a bit of a weird one, that bit.
Made me feel a bit uncomfortable in 2021.
When Orito leaves, Aimu decides to ask her about the serial killer. He's like,
Perfect thing to do to a victim in hospital. So you got stabbed? What do you
He
look
just-
like?
look, he's like, I have to ask. I'm really sorry, but did you get a look at who it was? Could you tell me anything about them? She describes you.
Yeah, I was like, where's that come from?
Yeah,
Why?
that was a bit
Now,
out there.
You was there after he was killed, so you can
You could see where he
you'd
would get
have
that.
that. No, you wouldn't.
I didn't believe this for a
I was
second.
going to say you
At
wouldn't
no
have that
point
shredded down.
I
would you?
went, bullshit.
You've been living with him for ages. Like you're not suspecting.
Why
her.
kill him to bring him back to life because you feel sorry for him? He
Create an
died.
army of zombies.
She wanted a servant.
And, there's,
Yeah.
there's easier ways to do that.
Look, right? I'll say it now.
She fancied the guy and really wanted to move in with him. So,
Are you wanting to be a zombie like him?
oh yeah,
Like the
Yeah.
only downside seems to be that you can't
Sun.
go out in direct sunlight.
and I don't
Great.
do that now. So
We all met working nights.
I was going to say, like, you unbelievably strong, can't die, immortal.
I'm pretty certain can't
Still
die
eats
in
normal
immortal.
food
It's the
and
same
doesn't
thing.
eat brains.
Now, later on, the King of the Night tells us the downside of being a zombie, but
What's the downside of being a zombie?
But you live forever.
that eventually life becomes painful because of how much of it you're living.
What?
He lived too much.
I'm partied too hard.
What?
I'm
down for this. I'm good.
I'm being like I would be a zombie.
Great. Yeah, I'm being a zombie.
Yeah.
Zomb me up, boy.
Zomb me up.
Eats me up, woman.
Party too hard. Definitely.
Under Kyoko's bed, Ayamu sees a wooden sword, and she says it's for protection. And then she starts to cry to Ayamu about how scared she is of the serial killer, i.e. you.
You looked at me and was like, you.
It's going to happen. I can't help it.
To be fair, if there's a serial killer at this table,
It's
the first
you.
one that's snapping is Jim.
It's not me.
Yeah,
It's
for all the jokes
It's the
about
quiet
my dad.
one. He's poisoned your brew dog.
Don't need to poison it. It's
I
already
knew
there.
I set him up.
My liver's done, don't worry about it.
Have some more drink.
Episode
Some more.
That's what I tell you,
episode
Dad.
episode 3  and with you
Gargle this.
you eating the pudding and watching
Oh,
Seraphim
he eats the pudding, let me tell you.
and watching Seraphim and Haruna like play fighting each other. And we go into episode 4. Episode 4 opens with Haruna again. She's in the kitchen. She's preparing food. Although it's the first time we see her actually chopping like veg and stuff and not making egg. Then she asks Seraphim to help her. We cut to Ayamu again. He's recalling the conversation with Kyoko about you. Then it comes to dinner time, and Seraphim puts the pot down of the purple, bubbling death pot.
She's a vampire. Probably death tastes good to her. Like that.
I think one of them puts chopsticks inside it, and it melts the chopsticks. And then they throw some of it at the wall, and it melts the wall.
And then it melts the pot.
Well, she says eat it quickly before the pot melts. Ayamu drinks it, dies again.
Literally kills the zombie.
So yeah, it briefly kills him, but he's a zombie, so he's okay. Everything repairs itself.
Where does that go? Does that just keep melting through the earth? Because think about it.
Till
right?
it reaches the core.
Till it reaches the core, then it melts through the core.
So they end up ordering pizza instead. And Haruna mentions that actually the only reason she is in Tokyo is she's looking for toe jam. Then there's a knock at the door, and it's a dog in a trench coat. He's a type of megalo. It turns out he's a guardian of the underworld. He turned up because he's come to get Ayamu. Because Ayamu, for some reason, he doesn't know how, escaped the underworld. Finds out that you was the reason why, and he backs off. He's like, oh, I didn't realise that you was the one that brought you back, in which case you can stay. It's nothing to do with me.
Well, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Is this guy like part of the agents of Hades? Isn't
He
or
says
something?
that you is like
Yeah.
special.
Okay.
Might even be like a daughter of Hades.
Hades.
Did
Possibly.
he just get a whole pass from hell?
Yes.
Yes.
Fucking A.
That's why I'm being one of these zombies, man.
Where? I want one of them.
A whole pass from hell.
Just going to the toilet.
I'd like to come and go from hell as I please.
BRB.
I need a piss. Can I go to the toilet? Yes, you get a hall pass.
On Earth.
Imagine Hades' is class.
Just pissing around on Earth for 10,000 years. It'd be a right laugh.
It's more than that, though, isn't it? Like, we're only saying 10,000 years because that guy is 10,000 years old. Like, the people around him are 10,000 years old. Surely
What
then,
people? What people? What?
you have a zombie. How old is he? He can't
Oh.
be more than, like...
He's
The
been
thing
around
is-
for a while. The King of the Night.
King
He's
of the Night.
old because
Yeah.
he's developed extra powers. He's probably been around that long. So the dog in the trench coat decides to go. But as he goes, well, I haven't wasted my trip because someone's being killed, like, down the other street down there anyway, so I'll just go and collect their soul.
Do you know what, right? That is so laissez-faire. How they do that? He's just
Glass
literally
half
like...
full.
It's like, well, you know, there's just somebody dying down the road. I'll go and pick them up on the way through.
So
And everybody in that room is like, oh, all right, fair enough.
Ayamu's not. He's like, I'm going. Runs out of the house. He lands on that rooftop with the dog, and the dog guy discusses. He tells us a little bit about you. In that, when she heals somebody, she takes on their pain. He said, so it's a big deal that she did what she did because she would have felt death to bring you back. You know, it's one thing healing somebody of a broken bone or something like that and feeling that pain, because to her that probably feels like nothing. But to bring somebody back from death and to have to experience that herself must be really painful. Which begs the question, why did she bring him back? He was only nice to her very briefly outside the supermarket, like
Maybe that's why.
just to simple act of kindness,
Yeah.
rewarded with eternal life.
So what you're saying is I just need to be nice a little bit to everybody and I'll become a
If
zombie.
you see anybody walking around in armor,
Armour.
be nice to them.
I mean, I would, generally. Like, if somebody was going around in armour, I'm definitely being nice to them. He's a knight. He's got to be a knight. What, round here?
Randy,
Round here, he's got to have, like, a sword and that, hasn't he?
why? Why does he?
Well, that's the only reason why you'd be wearing armour.
Ah, yes, those Norfolk Knights.
That's Norfolk Knights. That's the biking group, isn't it? The Norfolk Knights.
I got a fucking clue. So they arrive too late to the murder scene. The dog guy turns around and says that they've been having a little bit of an issue in the underworld lately because souls aren't going straight to the end. They're not turning up at the underworld. And he says the only way that they don't turn up to the underworld is if they're sacrificed.
This is the plot of Little Nicky, right?
No,
The portal to Hell's Gate
he freezes it.
Yeah.
In Little Nicky, so that souls just
'Cause he
can't
leaves.
get in.
Or R.I.P.D.
That's a good movie.
So-
Very,
No, it is.
very underrated.
Very
so
underrated
wanted a
movie.
sequel.
So yeah, basically the souls are being consumed and can't make it to the underworld. And he says that they're being consumed by the King of the Night. This is when the dog and Ayamu get stabbed.
I thought the dog jumped in the way
He does.
because they get frozen, but he manages to break out of it.
But they both get stabbed anyway. He jumps
Yeah.
in the way of an immortal person who can't die.
So is the dog going to hell and then coming back again?
Well, you see, we don't see the dog again.
yeah, that's kind of I was
So,
thinking that.
I'm assuming that the dog's soul
Sacrificed?
got sacrificed?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, the dog's soul would be trapped inside her, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But then surely once she's dead,
Dies.
No, because that doesn't establish if the souls are released or not. But before he dies, he turns to Ayamu and says, "Don't let you grieve in general."
she doesn't even know you, so she's not going to be sad.
Savage.
Well, he's just a dog boy thing. What is that? Like, seriously.
Ayamu gets home.
Clifford? I don't know.
So the,
Big red dog.
so the serial killer kills him again and then just leaves him. Eventually, he comes round and goes home.
When is this fucking serial killer going to learn to finish the job?
Double tap.
Double tap.
Double
Seriously.
tap, baby.
Turns out that
Rule two.
use emotions affect the ribbons of fate.
Say that again?
Use emotions affect the ribbons of fate.
Blood.
Fuck, we're on your name again. The ribbons are intertwining,
ribbons.
guys.
Her words contain massive amounts of magical power. And she has been given eternal youth, and she wears the gauntlets and armor to contain all of these massive amounts of power that she has.
It's the reason I wear underwear.
And she's got that much power within her that if she was to die, the power would remain in her body and still secrete out even after death.
Yeah, I think they said once the body's gone, the power would still be there. The magic is still there.
Yeah. So she is telling him this. She's sitting there having this conversation with Ayamu and telling him that even after death, she would still be dangerous.
But how
And she cries.
would she die? She's immortal, isn't she?
There's always a way of killing something.
Okay.
So she cries, and Ayamu turns around and he says that he'd never hate you. Why would he hate her just because she's powerful? Like, it doesn't make no difference to him. It wouldn't make no difference to me. Why would that be a bad thing? He'd be like, I got an ultra powerful best friend over here.
I've got a fucking Ubermensch
who
as my
lit-
best mate.
This person tells you to die, you fucking die. Like, that's a good best mate.
I knew you would like that person.
Hitler's right-hand man over here.
I was about to say.
Meet Goebbels.
Goebbels, Goebbels.
I can't help but notice that you looked at me at that moment. Although he did wear some flashy outfits, girl.
Hugo Boss. That's genuinely true for our American friends.
It genuinely is.
The Nazi uniform was designed by Hugo Boss.
See, that's twice now in this show that we've given information. You know,
Yeah.
ninjas and Brim and Hugo Boss.
Rode
You
around
learn as you go with us.
Mercedes Benz.
And sometimes you regress as you go with us as well.
This is where we get the giant whale megalo.
What?
Giant whale comes out of nowhere. It's flying through the sky. Ayamu transforms
And it rains.
into a magical garment girl. Gets Mistletoe.
it rains.
Haruna manages
Is
to
it a
create.
sperm whale?
No, I was just thinking of thingy.
Nice. Haruna manages to create a magical shield over the city so that the whale can't crash into buildings.
As you do.
Ayamu tells Seraphim to create an incision in the neck of the whale, flies up high, gains massive levels of cuteness,
His cuteness is beginning to overload.
and he does.
How is this not Space Dandy to you guys?
It's not.
And he does
Fuck, this is the same energy.
No, it's really not.
It fucking is.
and he does 1,000% power kick to the whale's head and
Baby.
knocks it clean off.
This is not Space Daddy.
It's
That
the
is
same
not.
energy. That's the same energy right there.
Next bit I didn't get. Episode ends. We cut to Kyoko's hospital room, covered in blood, as if she's been
The
killed.
nurse has. They maybe killed the nurse.
Wasn't sure.
I thought it might be that because
But her hospital room's just splattered in blood, and you think, oh, Kyoko's died.
yeah, at the
You
time
are.
I did.
You'd think she was dead at this point, right? You don't
It's
think
come to
she's a
finish the
significant
job.
I think that's
character?
the point, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's supposed to eliminate her as a suspect for the audience.
Yeah. And we go into episode 5.
Doesn't work.
Does it not? I thought she was dead.
No.
It doesn't because of one thing. This we've know one thing about this serial killer. He doesn't finish the job. So why the hell has he come back for this one person?
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. And it's just, they introduced her so late for no reason that you know she's not what she is,
True.
seems
yeah.
to be. So,
Although in
just a given.
normal harems, it takes perhaps 5 or 6 episodes to build up the harem.
In normal harems, this girl's part of that fucking harem.
I mean, it's Sword Art. It takes like 3 seasons.
Yeah, true. After being defeated, he's like, now come join me.
Now come join me, and she's like, "Yeah, I guess you're right." To be fair,
To be fair.
To be fair.
TBF.
BBF, you beat me, so I'm joining you.
So episode
You
5.
son of a bitch.
Episode 5 opens with Haruna and Seraphim kissing, and then Seraphim bites Haruna's neck and sucks her blood.
Nim, 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 nim,
This was an interesting scene to come into on this episode.
Yeah, well,
You came to this?
and we also see that Ayamu is peeping from the closet,
From the closet. Why is he in the closet?
Have you seen what he wears? Of course he's in the closet.
and he turns
I'm
to
in
Seraphim
the
afterwards.
What?
He turns to Seraphim afterwards and goes,
Oh my god.
I need... She says to him that she needs blood to live. Obviously, she's a
Obviously.
vampire.
Yep. That's kind of how
And
that
he
works.
goes, well, then why did you make out with her? Apparently, Seraphim's kiss is also an anesthetic.
Most vampires are.
There you go.
That's law. The vampires have a power
So-
to seduce and then sedate.
They also
So,
have a rose in a tower as well.
They normally do it with their eyes and do the whole ooh.
so
the Jack Sparrow ooh thing. With
yeah,
hands,
they're
you know.
they're supposed to be able to hypnotise people,
Yeah.
aren't they?
So what I'm hearing from this is Captain Jack Sparrow,
Vampire.
vampire.
Ayamu then turns around and goes, well, if you ever want to, you can suck my blood.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
Hey, there's blood there as well. There's blood there
He
as
was
well.
about 2 letters off there, wasn't he?
Cut to Haruna again. She's trying to transform, which she does very briefly, and then she's butt naked again in her room. Not for long, though, because Ayamu comes to collect her for dinner, and she shuts the door on him, and he's like, let me in. And
I got you lunch.
he forces the door open.
Axe is coming through the door.
He forces the door open, only to see Haruna standing there naked, and she's like, don't look at me, and he's like, well, there's not much to see anyway.
To be fair.
And so...
If he was not already dead, he would have been there.
So she axe kicks him in the head, which is the worst thing you could do when you're butt naked.
Yeah.
What, a full spread?
Yes.
Why
As you're
not?
looking up at the axe
No.
kick.
She's just returning the favour. They're both providing a full spread.
We cut then to a phone box, and we see that somebody is walking up to a phone box in a dark alleyway. It's all sinister, and there's a cat hissing.
And there is no
There's
way.
always a
there's
cat.
And there's been puddles in this one as well.
Yeah, there has.
Also,
From Jim watching it.
there is no such thing as a phone booth in Japan. There can't be.
I don't know.
There's-
There'd be
No,
payphones.
no, really?
There's gotta
Maybe,
be.
Maybe.
What? They've still got payphones.
Look, it's a fucking phone booth, all right?
What do you mean they don't have payphones?
They're not having phone booths like that.
Why?
We don't have them around here anymore.
Nothing says sinister like
We
a
have phone
ye
booths.
old
There's one outside
English
the
red
block.
phone box
Ye olde English.
under a broken
I'll
flickering
have
lamppost.
you know, in Old City, they're white.
There you go.
Always have been.
Cut to the girls, and they're having a bath. And Ayamu is outside the bathroom listening to them and daydreaming about how he wishes he was a fly on the wall.
Yeah, that's what he wants to be. Of all the things to wish for,
Wish floor.
wish for a fly on the wall.
Then he gets a phone call, and it's from the head teacher of Haruna's magical school.
Does anyone else notice that she's using paper cups?
Yes, I did.
And
Paper cups and string.
and she turns around.
Love that.
She turns around and says, "Oh, tell Haruna not to worry about getting me the Kyoto tofu, not
Kyofu.
the toe jam." While this phone call's going on, there's a lot of boob play in the bath. Standard,
Standard harem procedure.
yeah, procedure.
It is.
And
Nothing to see here, just standard stuff. Standard Haru
Standard-
procedure.
Checklist is out. Yes, I see this little
standard
procedure
booby
list.
siding.
Well, there's the standard booby touching. Standard, oh, look at your boobs. Your boobs are smaller than mine. Oh, look, yours are bigger than mine. All the same. It's literally all the same in every harem.
It's a man of experience right there, isn't it?
Ayamu,
Got a gym seal of approval on that one.
Ayamu continues to have his chat with the head teacher, and they start talking about Haruna a bit more. And the teacher tells him that Haruna was struggled at the start at school. She was always really forgetful, and she said for the first time ever, though, she managed to remember something, and it was Ayamu's name. She never.
Yeah, she was
She's
bad
like,
with
that's the
names,
first
wasn't she?
time. Yeah, she said that's the first time she's ever remembered somebody's name properly because she likes Ayamu.
Yes.
Pretty obvious at this point. We didn't
no
need that,
reason.
did we? What'd you-
Standard harem procedure.
No reason to like this dude.
No, there really isn't.
He stole her powers,
It's the,
Yeah.
but he cooks good food.
It's literally like...
to be fair, no. To be
Best
fair,
way to the heart.
you're
through
fucking
the belly.
right. You're
free
fucking
food.
right.
Damn
Food.
right, yeah.
And
Listen up, ladies.
free roof over your head.
Yeah, free food and board in Japan, in Tokyo, Japan, I believe as
It
well.
is Tokyo, yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive.
What's your word for it? I don't know.
After his phone call, he gets called again. This time it's Kyoko, though. And she flirts with Ayamu a little bit on the phone, and she says, "Can we go on a date?" And he's like, "Yes." Then we see the phone box again, the phone hanging off of the receiver, and just a figure walking away. It's Kyoko.
Well, yeah.
Fucking clearly, she was just
Really?
she was just on the phone.
You don't say.
And now that we know that she's alive as well, because the last thing we saw was the bloody hospital room. So,
So she's a bad guy.
clearly.
I wouldn't even say she's that much of a bad guy, though. This is a harem. They don't really have bad guys in this.
So they settle on a graveyard as the date location.
Great place.
I'm actually in agreement. Great place for a date.
TripAdvisor.
Take me to a graveyard.
Four
I'll
out of
fucking
5.
wander around the graveyard. with you.
4 out of 5.
Let's fucking do this.
And we also find out that you wasn't happy about him going on this date.
I'll go around the graveyard. You can shake your head all you want. I'm fucking about it.
For a
Good on
Shouldn't be
sex.
doing that in the graveyard either.
We've all had sex in a graveyard.
No, we really haven't.
What do you mean no?
No, we have.
Literally, there's 2 instant head shakes
What
in
do you mean
there.
no?
No, that's
What do you know?
disrespectful.
Disrespectful,
You're
yeah.
fucking right it is.
That's
Summoning
super
boys
gay.
do not condone.
Condone.
Oh, I was summoning that night. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We don't condone Grayson's behaviour.
We really don't.
There was one more stiff in that graveyard that night.
Not for very long, though. Like 30
I'll
seconds.
have you know that was the best 3.5 minutes of her life.
Somebody's
And then she
pushing it.
died.
Yeah, then she died.
She was already dead.
I literally nearly said, and then you pushed her back in the goal.
In the goal.
Either way,
Oh, I scored.
we can't keep that in.
Like,
We
yeah,
can't.
like maybe it's a separate thing, but we're,
On his date as well, he turns around as he's going and he sees that Haruna is trying to tag along, and she gets caught out and she throws a fit and says she's only going to the supermarket. He gets to the graveyard. He sees Kyoko's there. She's got the Kyoto tofu with her because he asked her to bring it. And she asks Ayamu out. She's like, "Have you got a girlfriend?" He says no. And she's like, "Well, can I be your girlfriend?"
Apply for the position.
Yes.
And what position's that, dear?
And then she's like, "Oh, you can pay me back for the tofu as well." And he's like, how would I pay you back?" And she walks over to him and she says, "You can pay me back by dying," and then stabs him.
For the third time.
For the third time. You think she'd learn. Turns out
At least let him have a go.
she's the serial killer.
Shock.
did you
And-
even need to say that after she stabbed him?
And she can also manipulate memory, which is why Orito thought that she was a friend.
But
I mean, that guy,
different.
you could have just walked up to him and been like, shall we be friends? And
yeah,
he'd have been like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But she's not only the serial killer. Kyoko is a magical garment girl as well. So she transforms. And we
gets
find
tiny.
out that every time she kills somebody, she collects their soul. We don't know about the whole life thing just yet. Haruna and Seraphim turn up as they're fighting. And Seraphim tries to help and just gets blocked completely. Like, Kyoko is too powerful. This is when Ayamu transforms again, gets his magical garment girl uniform on. Seraphim, when she sees him in his outfits, turns around and says, each time you transform, a piece of my soul dies. I love her little fucking...
Yeah, that
There's
is
so
funny.
many funny little comments that are made during this whole anime. Turns out Kyoko kills for eternal life. So she says, if you knew that every time you killed someone, you gained all of their life energy and their life, would you not do it?
I'm waiting for you to ask the question of would we all do it, and I can already tell you what the answers are in this room. Maybe. Depends. Mine is definitely not, and yours is like, I'm already doing it. I don't know what you're on about.
He's not wrong.
Are you killing for eternal life?
I would kill those that deserve to die.
Right.
And
So you've
as
become a
my
vigilante.
reward,
Right.
I'm gaining along
Eternal
the
life.
life.
There you go.
I'm alright with that.
Oh, I'm not going to kill just like anybody.
Fuck off!
Fuck off.
What are you talking about?
Killed like 4 things on the
But
way in.
not only does she gain eternal
You'd
life,
kill a
but
kitten just to gain its fucking years.
Yeah, you would. 2 years? Sounds good.
moving on.
He's not saying no, guys. He's not saying no.
They come up with some sort of plan to try and defeat Kyoko. So Ayamu grabs hold of Kyoko. Seraphim then stabs through him into her. They think they've killed her. She gets up. Turns out that she's not immortal, but she still has another 10 lives
She
remaining.
put another quarter in, that's what she did.
She's a Voldemort.
This is when the episode finishes.
Voldemort's immortal for as long as the Horcruxes are alive. A Horcrux survives.
It's a piece of you, isn't it?
Yeah, it puts a piece of his soul in it,
Yeah.
yeah. But at the cost of someone else's life.
Yes. So you arrives, and that's how the episode ends. And we go into the last one, episode 6. It opens with Kyoko trying to attack you.
She never really does anything, does she?
This just doesn't work. Like, you stops all of her attacks, and she starts going proper psycho girl at this point, Kyoko. She gets that look in her face, you know, the typical psychotic
Yeah.
eyes, bags under the eyesy sort of thing.
Yeah, the wide gestures.
Yeah.
Sheeny's pants came off.
I-
Standard.
What?
Standard
The
behaviour.
standard Harry procedure.
Then you takes hold of Mistletoe and transforms into a magical girl. Why?
Yeah, I didn't understand why. I think that's just fan service right there.
Yeah.
That's a fan service moment
Probably,
right
'cause
there.
it doesn't
That's,
change
if you
anything.
wanted to cosplay this,
Yeah.
Sheeny at one point wanted to cosplay him in the magical garment girl.
Oh, wouldn't that be funny?
fucking hilarious. I wanted to do the thingy from Pants on the Head guy.
Oh my god.
Shimonita.
Shimonita, thank
Thanks. I'd have totally done that. I'd have been a fucking right giggle.
Would have been funny.
You
I've
can
done-
do it. You can
I've
still
done,
do
I've
it.
done Rocky Horror in full outfit. I ain't got no
I'd do
fucking
magical
words.
garment girl. It'd be funny.
Yeah, I think you'd be hilarious as the magical garment girl.
Yeah, but he actually does look like it though.
He genuinely does. He'd probably be like, damn, I look good in this.
Sheeny used to just strutting in the mirror.
Strutting down the road. I don't know what you're
Whose
on about.
ass is that? That's Matt.
So Kyoko is becoming excited at the prospect of killing you and taking all of you's power. That's what she wants to do.
She's not going to do this.
I was gonna say, how has the realization not hit her that she's not powerful enough to hurt you?
Like,
at
all
this
those
point?
attacks-
She could have
None
all
of
the
them.
lives on the planet. She ain't fucking touching this
No.
girl.
So you ends up leading Kyoko away from the rest of the group so that she can get her, I guess, out of earshot.
Yeah, that does kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Although, one thing doesn't make sense about that, and I'll come to it in a minute.
And this is when, as they're standing at the foot of the tree, Yu opens her mouth and says, "Die." She doesn't say it. You don't see the words. You see the text.
don't hear it,
The
you
script
just-
is written in
yeah.
front of you, yeah.
Which is really good, by the way. I
And they
really
change
like
it
how
every
they
single
did that.
time. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the tree that she's standing on instantly dies and all the leaves fall
Now, I
off of
raised
it.
my hand on this because she tried to get out of earshot and the tree died. Does that mean the tree has ears?
The trees have ears.
Tree's like, hold on a second, what?
The trees. What a lovely day!
Oh, look, there's 2 people by me. Oh, what's she? It is like,
Trees are alive, aren't they? Plants are alive.
yeah,
But then obviously everything around. No.
They don't have ears.
yeah. They don't have ears.
So the tree dies.
But I get it. It was a representation of death.
Yes.
But also, like, all of the area around them should have died as well.
Yes, it should
Up
have.
to a
Yeah, it should have
point.
created some sort of like AOE sort of thing.
What were you
Now he's
giggling?
thinking of somebody who happened to be walking past, aren't you?
Graveyard guy go around.
Hey, up!
That's Lee with his fucking lantern. What's all that noise?
It's the guy
I don't
that.
know why you
It's that
turned
guy from Akira.
It's
He's got
no.
a new job.
It's the guy from the postman. He's got a safe job in a graveyard. There's no one he can hurt
I'm
at all.
working at night now. No one's around. It's just
It's me and the dead.
Literally nothing can harm me.
I'm
in
just
this
doing
one.
my rounds, checking everything's
Good
okay.
Daddy put me to bed. No, he's at work, son.
Oi, you two, what are you doing? Nah.
Hold on, what's he just say to me?
Why has he got me?
Of course he is. He's in a graveyard at night. Go on, blimey, governor. He's got...
There's 2 girls over there.
I'm just digging my grave over here.
My
Why
mom,
don't go Australian? It's digging me grave over here, mate.
mother, he hasn't come. Daddy hasn't
Mama.
come home yet.
He'll be home soon. No, he's just fell in the grave that was dug for him by him.
Papa.
That's the best thing, right? He's already, you know, once he dies, he just falls into the grave as well. Next person takes over. That's the
Diggy,
Australian
diggy,
guy, you
I
hole.
see.
love the fact he
Diggy
thinks
hole.
it's like take a ticket. Oh, the grave digger's dead. Number 42, it's your turn.
Go on, blimey, governor. What's he just say over there? All right, what we bloody well doing over here? I'll dig this up.
In comes the next cop.
In comes the Australian guy. Australian guy rolls straight in behind him.
Fucking love those Australian guys.
He's a roided up Australian.
God, Jesus.
Well, at least he's safe
We're
in his
managing
job.
to offend all members of the world.
No, we
I'm
ain't
sure
there
our
yet.
2 Australian fans will really hate us for it.
So Kyoko gets back up again, and this is when there's a whole repetition thing, and you just keep saying, die. She stands up, she says, die again. And all the while, you is experiencing massive amounts of pain as well. Are you okay?
Are you good?
I was just thinking of that guy. He's just like on the edge. He's right on the edge. He's fell into the grave because he's actually, you know, he's only been hit sort of by it, so he's only hurt.
Well, he's
Gets
only-
back out.
He's sort of by death.
He's only half died.
Half dead.
He's half dead.
Crawling.
God blimey, I'm only half dead.
He's just got a dead arm.
He's crawling
Only
out
his
of
arm
the
was
grave.
in shot.
Crawls back out the grave. God, I was so close. What was that? Oh, no. Get on back there.
Only his erection was over the line. So that's died.
So that's Lee in the graveyard.
Kyoko gets up for like the 5th or 6th time, and this time, when you says die, it doesn't work. This is because Kyoko has stuffed her fingers so far into her ears that she's ruptured her own eardrums so that she can't hear you.
Neither could the tree.
I didn't save the tree.
It had so many leaves, that's why. The leaves are its eardrums.
What?
Well, you saw them all go...
And Kyoko walks over to you, grabs hold of her, and self-destructs. So she unleashes all of her magic in one burst.
Becomes a
and
fucking
blows up.
Voltorb.
Yes. Yeah. And you goes down. This pisses Iron
Why are you looking
off.
at me?
This pisses all of them off when they see this. So they've just been chilling, watching.
As you do.
And they all decide to attack at once. Kyoko blocks them. Like, they can't get her. She's become too powerful now that she's downed you. Then she stabs herself.
Resets herself,
Yeah,
basically.
and basically, yeah, so it fixes her perforated eardrums and all her wounds, and she's like, it's easier to fight now that I can hear properly. This is when Aimu once again transforms into a magical garment girl, and he just won't go down. So she attacks him, and he just keeps walking forward constantly until he just about gets to her. Then he goes down. She tries to hit him with her sword and he catches it. Smashes it, squeezes it and breaks the sword, shatters it. She loses her magical girl outfit because her sword has broken.
So if you break the thing...
The magical weapon, the magical garment goes to.
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
He then makes a speech about how he wasn't really alive until he died. This is a speech you'd kind of expect based on the show, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
This speech was due at some point where he
Yeah.
was going to say, I've never really lived until I died. It was expected. And then from the ground, he chainsaws Kyoko.
This next bit is brutal as fuck, by the way.
Yeah, and then he just...
Well, she loses one life because of that.
he just starts...
And then she's like,
attacking
no,
her.
no, please stop. And he's like, no, you didn't stop with all the other people.
Yeah, he starts attacking her and just chainsawing her, and there's screaming and there's blood.
The screaming is fucking horrendous.
Yeah, that screaming.
Well voice acted,
well
right?
voice
Fucking,
acted.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
She got
even I
kicked
went,
in the
"Ooh."
nuts to do that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
When that happened, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, savage, isn't it? Yeah. And then it gets to the point where you see her face and she's terrified. And she's scrambling backwards and she's pleading. She's got no more lives left. Ayamu is like, I don't care. You didn't show your victims
You didn't show me any
or
mercy.
me any mercy. And he goes for a mega punch. And he smashes down right next to her head. Who thought he killed her?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Do you think he just
I thought it was just like full on One Punch Man, you know.
exploded her head?
Yeah.
No, so he purposely misses, leaves her unconscious on the floor, and he goes over to you. And he
Why did
waits
she go unconscious?
out of fear, passed
Maybe.
out.
Exhaustion.
Yeah, and he goes over to
You
you.
just
and
died like 17 times.
and
I'd be
you-
fucking tired too.
She had 10 lives. She died 9. So,
and so that makes all the difference.
Yeah,
Makes
it
all the
did.
difference.
And you turns around to Ayamu and is like, "Well done, servant," instead of saying,
well done. Thank you.
Just thank you."
I think
Yeah.
actually she goes to say thank
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
she's
she's
like,
like-
well done, servant.
And then asks, "What's for dinner?" Then the head teacher turns up, and she turns to Ayamu and she's like, "It's a good job you didn't kill her, one of my students, because then I would have had to have killed you." You think she's got the power to do this?
I don't think so.
I don't think she.
I've
does.
seen
I
her.
think it's a bluff.
I've seen her throughout this, and I'm like, you're not powerful enough.
I don't think she could have killed. I think there's only one person who can kill Ayamu, and that's you.
Thank you.
Fuck's
You
sake.
kept looking at me. I was like,
What am I supposed to look at when I say this?
look at the wall.
There's only one thing good, powerful enough to kill Ayamu. You.
He looked down at his own crotch.
One punch.
The one burst man.
Super serious. Super serious thrust. I was going to say super serial.
Super cereal guy. Man, bear pig.
And the head teacher turns around and goes, "I'm going to take Kyoko with me because I think she needs some re-education."
That sounds like shock therapy. when she
Kyoko
says it.
It did.
Kyoko gets up, but it's not Kyoko anymore, and she's possessed by the King of the Night. And he says basically that he's going to be back, and he disappears and takes Kyoko's body with him. We don't actually physically see him.
Who named him the King of the Night?
Self-claimed title.
I think.
I was about to say,
I
it's
think-
self-proclaimed.
Yeah, and it turns out that we find out that he's a zombie, and that you had created him before Ayamu. That's all we
And
find out for now.
Thought she killed him as well.
Yes, she thought she'd killed him.
How do you think you killed someone? Well, actually, to be fair, we've met the serial killer, actually, from earlier. She thought she killed this guy, like, twice.
Yeah.
3 times.
3 times, yeah.
And it just ends with you turning around saying that she writes down on her pad that she doesn't dislike her life at the minute. So we're 6 episodes in. How are we feeling about Is This a Zombie?
I quite like it. It's not my favourite thing, but yes, it is good. I enjoy it. It's good.
This is worth a watch.
So far, because it doesn't take itself seriously, there is a story there. They're trying to establish a big bad, the King of the Night. I think they do the fan service
They
better
balance
than
it well.
this. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Very well balanced. It's very clearly there.
Yes.
But it doesn't affect the show.
Yes.
If you take it out, it's not missing anything.
Yeah.
You put it in, it's not affecting anything.
But there are some shows that you can get, some animes that you can get, where they put fan service in, and it doesn't give anything to it. That's that happens to some shows, and then there's also those other shows where they put so much in that it's just overbearing. I think they found a good balance in this, for fan service.
This is one of those annoying ones where you're like, you can tell somebody who doesn't like anime, oh, this is a great show, and then they'll see it and just be like, are you really serious? It's one of those that if your parents walks in, you
I've
go...
never described this as a great show.
But
No, it's one of those
it's good because it's not serious.
Yeah.
That's the point. But it's also good enough for you to not just put on in the background and not pay attention to, if that makes sense.
No.
Because there's some shows that you'd put on and then you'd fucking flick through your phone or do something else. This you still give attention to.
Yeah.
So it's good enough to hold you there for that. It's not laugh out loud.
No, it's
funny.
funny.
None of the moments so far have
but
been
it's
laugh
not.
out loud.
It doesn't hurt your belly funny.
But there is a moment that comes later on that did actually make me laugh out
broke
loud.
me.
Yeah.
It broke me
We
with
all know
laughter.
I had a proper chuckle at that. No, not the tentacles.
Not
No,
the
not
tentacles.
that one.
The
There's a
tentacles
better
made
one.
me fucking-
That made me chuckle a little bit, but there's another bit later on
There's a
that really
better
made
one.
me laugh. And that genuinely made me laugh. But so far, I've just enjoyed the characters, and 6 episodes in, you're still in.
Yeah. And that's probably the best recommendation we can give it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We very
Just a
often
s-
now have
it's a
shows
solid
where...
show.
Well, we have shows these days where we're like 6 episodes in and we're like, yeah,
I don't want
it's
to
all
anymore.
right, please stop with it. And this is like,
I want to
yeah,
watch
I'll
the rest
more.
of
Yeah,
this.
but you're happy to watch the rest of this.
I want to
Yeah,
watch the rest
yeah.
of this. I'll
It's-
never watch it again in my life.
No, and you're not.
But I watch
you're
it
not
once and be
dying
glad
to
I did.
find out what happens next or anything like that. But you're just like,
If your list is
this
short,
fun.
this is something to go for.
Yeah, 100%. If you've gone through all the mainstream stuff and you're now looking for your next sort of set down, this is one of those. And on that note, it's time for us to chuff off. All you summoners could join us next time, where we finish Is This a Zombie with episodes 7 to 12 and then the OVA. If you've got any questions or queries or just want to see what we're up to, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at How Not to Summon, or join our Discord at How Not to Summon a Podcast. I've been Sheeny Senpai.
I've been Jim.
I've been Grayson.
See you later.
See ya.
Ta-ra.